Morning. It's tantalizing Tuesday. So we are on day 130, and I also put lesson 131 because I feel the two lessons from yesterday when we're talking about, and by this time in the Course in Miracles, you really get that you are either totally seeing your problems or you're trusting that there is a solution before you can see it. And it is the discipline of a free spirit in order to have a discipline of not believing in the world of problems, in the world of suffering, and believing in the closest. There's words such as nirvana, heaven. Heaven, though, gives this kind of feeling. Let me know your feeling. What word do you like to use when we talk about and I want to explain what I mean by this statement, this quote of mine that says, perhaps you're suffering because you are a magical person trying to be a muggle. And I want to thank J.K. Rowling for that term, muggle. What's the difference between a magical person and a muggle? All right. Now, this is my perspective as someone who studied spirituality and magic and miracles for the past 35 years. I've always been drawn to this topic, and it has been like my secret passion on the side my whole life. Is I've traveled around the world, taught around the world, meeting magical and mystical people. Why do you think I was seeking it? Why do you think I had a double life? Why do you think I was 450 pounds and always wore black? Why do you think that I suffered 4 relationships before I'm in my now soul relationship? Why do you think I suffer my vocation? Okay? Well, it's this great guy I just met. He is not self-proclaimed. It's just he's a mystic. He's 21 years old. And his teacher, it was really refreshing to know, he's 21 and he actually has a spiritual guidance teacher, told him that if you don't embrace that you're magical and you're mystical, that you're a magic person in this lifetime, you will suffer. So perhaps, because I got to tell you, the more I have been coming out of the magical closet, even though everybody else who's known me my whole life probably knew I'm always the last to know. Well, I'm here to tell you and be the first to know, if you follow me, if you watch any of my videos, you're a magical person. You're attracted to my energy field for a reason. And why did, before this awareness, the bulk of my clients were people whose lives were totally destroyed? Because they too are magical people. And at one point, trying to be a muggle. Now, what is a muggle? So, being a magical person is that we have the ability to be in 2 worlds at one time. Now, we cannot see both worlds at the same time. That's what this lesson is. However, most of our emotions, we trust our emotions. We lead emotionally. We're empathic. We feel slight vibrations. Our sense of smell, our sensual nature. Like, you shut down my sensual nature, you shut down my superpowers. Like, I come alive when I'm connected to my sensual nature. I make my world better and everybody else's world better. That's one of my supernatural powers. Now, I'm not the only one. There are millions upon millions of magical people. People that are neurologically created by the Creator in order to feel heaven and have faith in heaven nirvana, the other realms that our eyes cannot see, that are coexisting at the same time. We are designed to see with our heart, not with our eyes, with our inner eye, not with our human eyes can see. And then there are people who lead with their eyes, or lead with their physical body, or lead with other of the intelligences. And so if you are someone who's always felt connected to magic and able to walk in, and sometimes you have lots of mystical experiences, you know, lots of them, but we don't talk about them. We don't speak about them unless, you know, someone has a certificate, or, you know, we're in a special place, or we go away. What if we were out in the open? What if you could just say, oh yeah, that's a magical person, this is their talent? What if you let yourself claim your mystical talent? What is your mystical talent? How many times have you in your lifetime been able to know something, feel something, continue to believe in something, and not see it? Have the patience, have the faith. Do you? Do you yearn to have it? Well, maybe you've just shut down all your senses. Maybe you've shut down your throat chakra so you can't speak what you desire. Your tone has to be subdued. Maybe someone told you were too much, so you better tone yourself down, right? Usually magical people are told that they're flighty. You're too much. You're crazy. That's the one I was told, especially when I had a software company before the internet. Now, I ain't that crazy. That company I saw before it came still serves thousands of facilities that work with the MRDD population. So you can't call me crazy. I saw everything going to the internet, and all schools going to the internet back in 2013. A lot of us did. A lot of us looked crazy, rehearsing, doing YouTube after YouTube after YouTube. We looked crazy. How many years ago? So how many of you have looked crazy way before something occurred? You were preparing for it. What were you following? The norm? Why do you think magical people are back on the planet in millions and upon millions? The last time the astrological things were like this, the last time this planet was in a specific configuration, was at the beginning of the Renaissance. So you see, y'all, we're here. We're awake, and you're going to be on this ride of consciousness rejuvenation, where art, creativity, innovation, we're going to put new words into the consciousness. We are going to enlighten millions of people's lives with what you have to say and exactly how you do it. What are we doing? What are we doing? And is it a bad thing to be a Muggle? Hell no. Be who you were designed to be, and your heaven opens up. And if you're here as a magical person trying to fit into the American dream, into the Muggle box, then you will suffer. So that's why I've designed specific I Am Feeling Good. Because you can't do your magic. You can't tap into your supernatural powers. You can't share your sacred journey to inspire millions until you learn how to feel good without any outside stimulus. So creating a discipline, like if you want to be the magician that you are, then you need to embrace the rituals of a magical person. Do you know your disciplines? They're within you. Only you know them. I can guide you to them by listening to the science and soul of your words. Oh, hello, Angelita. You should be getting your package any day now. Please let me know when you get your package and do a cute little unboxing, if you would, of the gifts you won in the drawing. Yes, I put some more things in there before I sent it off. Yay! So perhaps you are suffering because you're a magic person trying to be a muggle. So I want you to consider in this day, what are you going to commit to? Because this lesson is also saying, what are you going to commit to? Are you going to commit to your suffering? Or are you going to commit to your freedom? I'm going to read a little from the Course in Miracles. It says, it is impossible to see two worlds. Let me accept the strength that my Creator offers me. Right? Call forth your I am feeling good. I am presence. And see no value in this world of suffering. Like, as much emotional attention as you give to your problems, what if you gave it to just asking yourself this question? Okay, is it my suffering because I haven't activated or learned or cultivated my magical nature? Well, if the answer to that inside is yes, then that's what I do. I help you remember your magic. I help you remember your rituals. I help you remember and activate and practice your supernatural powers, whatever they are. Okay? So understand, accept that you have supernatural powers and ask for the guidance to activate them. That's how you get to the next level of this, all right? If you can't even hear yourself, this is what I want you to understand. If you're arguing with yourself about, I can't say words like supernatural out loud, I can't say the words like magic, I can't say the words like ritual, any of these words I'm scared to say, more than likely, then they're your natural words. They're words that are in your natural divine lexicon that you won't let emerge. And so you're editing all the time. You're putting other words, you're being fake because you're not owning your magical nature. And that will make people be afraid to be around you because they're wondering, is this disconnect between me and her? Or they don't realize it's the disconnect between you and you. They don't get that you don't see yourself magical. They don't get that. And so if you're not trusting who you really are, you won't have other people trusting you. And you will only have this is for magical people. You know, you really will only have people that will continue to play out old ancestral things of betrayal, you know, if you haven't forgiven that. So there's a whole, it's a deeper process of forgiveness, and forgiveness is like one of your major tools because you really want to forgive the reason you're scared to share that you're magic. All right? Because other people will call you all kinds of things, you know. And so this is more about how do you hold you in your language? How do you hold you in your imagination? How do you hold you? You know, your anxiety would go down exponentially when you just own that you're a magical person. Do you feel it? Like you can stop pretending that you understand what it is to be a muggle, and you start realizing you need to understand what it is to be magical. What are your responsibilities as a magical person? What are your opportunities? What is your vocation? How do you serve? Like, you don't have the gifts just for your benefit. You have the gifts for the benefit of all. So understanding, what world are you going to commit to? Which world are you going to develop? Which world are you going to relax into? Because you can't see both of them. You got to believe in one or the other. And believe means, where are you putting your emotional energy? What are you doing to cultivate your magical nature? All right? Okay. So it says, so what happens is, it is impossible to see the two worlds. Let me accept the gifts, the strength that my Creator offers me, and see no value in the world of suffering, that I may find my freedom and deliverance. So you see, when you're trying not, like when you're really just yourself, right? Whatever yourself is, you're going to be paying attention. Victoria Reynolds and I are going to do a whole thing on her show about pronouns, about the gender neutral, all of that, like how pronouns are affecting our language, and why is it a good sign. I'm here to tell you why it's a good sign that we are breaking beyond believing that I am going to behave based on what genitals I have. Like, you cannot characterize me as masculine or feminine. I've always felt like that my whole life. I've always been told I had a lot of masculine energy. However, when I really develop my feminine, I love my feminine energy. So, however, how I've been expected to behave, how I've been expected to behave in a relationship, never quite worked. I struggled with that my whole life, because I could never be told what to do. And if anyone ever tried to do that, that was a deal breaker. Like, right then, I would just shut off, go into this place. Like, you couldn't tell me what to do ever. It just never worked. Now you can listen, and we could talk, and we could be creative. That's a whole nother thing. However, automatically discounting my ideas or my visions as being hysterical or crazy because I'm a woman, the same things coming out of a man's mouth would not have been considered crazy. So do you understand? So a lot of this is, what are you going to claim in your speech, in your motion, and how you connect? Like, you have to stop doing some things in order to claim your magical nature. And one of them is, you stop talking about your problems. Stop investing emotions into your problems. But you may not know what to do, but you can't say that anymore, because I have an 8-day I am feeling good challenge that's free. So you have no more excuses. I've eliminated them. You just have to invest time. Perhaps you are a Muggle. And if you are, then be blessed. And if you're suffering and you're a magical person and you've tried everything else to stop your suffering, why don't you give this a go? Give being magic a chance and see if that relieves your suffering. It sure the hell has relieved mine. So I love each and every one of you. Go forth. I believe in you. I believe in your magic. I call forth that you right now have a holy instant. Mwah. Go forth and multiply who you are, because who you are is divinity in magical motion. Please share.